Right now might be a historically great time to do a Roth conversion. How's it going? My name is Ryan Beals, and I'm the owner of Ryan Beals CPA. Something that I firmly believe is that it's always a great time for tax planning. No matter if the situations are good or bad, there's always a maneuver to be had and a chess piece to be played. So let's talk about this. As I record this, the date is July 22nd, 2022. And if your retirement account or IRA looks anything like mine right now, there's a whole lot of red. But that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be all bad. We can take advantage of the down market and do a Roth conversion. With this, we can pay taxes on a dollar amount for the last time, even through retirement. To understand why now is such a great time, let's take a moment to discuss the difference between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. First, a traditional IRA, there's a benefit of putting money in the account up front. Usually there's a deduction, and you get that deduction on your taxes. There are some income limitations, but generally, putting money into a traditional IRA brings you a tax deduction in the year that you contribute. However, when you pull that money out in retirement, that money is taxable, and it's taxable at an ordinary rate. Conversely, a Roth IRA, there's no benefit in the year that you contribute the money. When you put money into a Roth IRA, in that year, there's no tax deduction. However, when you pull that money out in retirement, it's tax-free. It doesn't matter how much or how little you pull out of the Roth. It's all tax-free. So with that in mind, let's talk conversions. A conversion is when you take amounts in a traditional IRA and you can recharacterize it or move it into a Roth account, and you would pay taxes on that amount in this year. As an example, if you had $10,000 in a traditional IRA, you could convert that into a Roth IRA, and you would pay taxes on that $10,000. So why now? Why is now a great time to do this Roth conversion? And it all has to do with the ebbs and flow of the market. So let's take a look at the drawing board and we can visualize what's going on here. A characteristic of the stock market is that there's always ebbs and flows. Ups and downs, ups and downs. Typically speaking, the market over time does go up, but there's up markets, there's down times, everywhere in between. Right now, historically speaking, we're probably about right here. Not trying to make any calls about the bottom. It could go up, it could go down. And depending on you watch this, you could be anywhere in this cycle. But comparative to where it was a year ago, definitely weren't here. I only need to look at my own IRA to see that that's the truth. So why is this situation, why is here, where I believe we're probably up in here somewhere, why is this point a great time to do a Roth conversion? Well, it's simple. Taxes are based on the value of what you pull out. So let's say that you had $100,000 of one kind of stock. You had $100,000. A year ago, it was worth $100,000 of that one stock. If you were to pay 15% in taxes, that's $15,000. However, when the market crashes, that same $100,000 worth of that one stock could be worth much less. So let's say that same piece of stock is worth $80,000 now. It's the same amount of stock. The only difference is that it's worth less now. That 15%, that's $12,000. That's a difference of $3,000 in taxes. And I know what you're thinking. Why would I want to pay taxes now on this? Wouldn't I want to pay taxes later? Well, the answer is simple. This tax is the last time that you're going to pay any taxes on this. So let's say we have that same $100,000 for the stock. It was $80,000 when we converted it. It went back up to $100,000 next year. Let's take a look at it in retirement. In the traditional, break it up here. That $100,000, if you hadn't have done the conversion, is going to be taxed again. So again, for easy math, let's say it's taxed at 15%, $15,000. But the Roth IRA, when you pull this out in retirement, this $100,000, no tax. Zero. Zero, zilch, nada. You can pull out as much or as little. It's never taxable when you pull out amounts from a Roth account in retirement. So now, in the year of retirement, that's $15,000 that you don't have to pay taxes on. That's $12,000 difference between pulling it out now and $15,000 of pulling out in retirement. Of course, everyone's situation is different. It's really important to talk with a seasoned tax professional to help guide you through this process. Just because it seems like a great idea doesn't mean it might be the best idea for you. I strongly recommend seeking the advice of a seasoned tax professional. They can guide you through this process and what to do and what to expect. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to like or subscribe, and leave a comment below if you have any tax planning questions. And that's it for today. Have a good one.